All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to episode, I'm not sure because we've been just knocking them out here at Inkcon 2023 here at the Ontario Convention Center, the first annual. And, we'll be doing it again next year. But right now, we're going to be interviewing the guys from Iconiq. They have their own podcast, but I was like, you know what? We're interviewing you guys this time because you guys are here at the show. You guys are supporting. You guys are doing some dope tats. And you guys are killing it. So I want to know your thoughts and what's going on here. I got the homie Josh and the homie Ricky. Why don't you shoot them your Instagrams real quick just so they know where to find you.
So you guys can find me on Josh Shade 12 on Instagram. And then
I'm Ricky Tat on Instagram, and our shop is Iconiq Tattoo Studio.
That's right. Fontana,
baby.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep. How long have you guys had that shop so far?
Going on 5 years now.
5 years.
5
bro.
years. Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here. Really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
man.
I know we talked about the show a while ago, and you guys were on board, and you guys liked the idea that we talked about. Even you guys knew about having the podcast at the convention, and I know you guys have already put an emphasis and see the value in creating content.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys kind of giving me support and kind of encouraging having this. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, no, excited, man. I mean, it feels weird to be, on the opposite side because we're usually interviewing people. Yeah, dude, this convention, bro, bananas.
Yeah.
It's just awesome,
it's
bro.
It's been a good turnout, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the man of the hour right there.
There it is.
There he is, the man, huh?
Yeah. Right there.
I feel underdressed looking at this guy. What's up, my boy?
I dressed like this because I was like, because Mark Mahoney's going to come. And then Jack goes, Mark ain't coming. I'm like, damn, you tell me that. Come on.
God
All right,
damn.
bro.
Hey, did you get the matching shoes though? Nah, you didn't.
Nah,
Come on.
Hey, you still look fly though. You look like you just came from church. So
I know.
looking good.
Hey, you got the mariachi too?
Mariachis.
Psh, bro, that's
All
love.
right, we're
That's
gonna
love.
check them out here in a bit.
Yeah, man, bro. Everybody I'm talking to, people coming to us, they're like, they're loving it, man. They're super. And the cool thing is there's so many dope artists that showed up, It's just not like so-so. It's like there's heavy hitters here, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
we're inspired as artists, and then the collectors are like super hyped.
Yeah, I've already been getting good feedback from other artists. The energy's high, the turnout has been good.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to have something like this in the Empire because we never had this,
Yeah.
Even the health department, we were talking to them on Friday, they're like, this is like the biggest show we've had here.
Yeah. The health department was having a hard time keeping up with the situation. A lot of the artists that were constantly contacting us like, hey, the health department hasn't got back. And we're like, hey, man, they're the ones falling behind. They said they had enough time to do this shit, and now they're falling behind. But that's another.
That's another.
I don't want
That's
to throw
another
them under the
station.
bus.
Man.
But yeah, this is like the first convention in over a decade in the Inland Empire.
It was needed.
So
it was needed.
Definitely needed, man.
Because we have the podcast, the IQ Project podcast, and our focus is to bring up and highlight artists in the Inland Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So now that there's a convention now in the Inland Empire too, it's just it just hypes us up so that we can get to connect with other people. I got like 6 or 7 people that want to do the podcast already. So I'm like, hell yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
See, and this is a good environment to make those connections.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's artists here that have watched your podcast and they're like, man, I would like to do that, but I don't know if I could do that.
Exactly.
So you make a connection. They feel a little bit more comfortable because you're talking to them. They're like, oh, these guys are cool. They're chill,
Yeah.
And same thing. I'm sure you've noticed on your own podcast when you bring an artist on, they're kind of a little bit like
Shy,
a little bit reserved until you kind of break them out. And we've been having that same experience here a little bit, So it's cool. But
it's hard. It's hard being in front of these, cameras and talk. You know what I mean? Because we're not trained that way.
Yeah.
But
especially not used to like facing us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're
And the
used to
lights are
that,
like some bright lights,
Yeah.
And then also, there's like people that come in and out. So it's like you have a little audience,
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. Like the first ones we did were a little bit more nerve
Over here
wracking.
sweating, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I like the rawness though.
Yeah.
I like the rawness. We're starting to be more raw like that instead of
Yeah.
less cuts. And
Yeah.
if I need to use the restroom, just keep the cameras rolling. Just because it's a podcast, it's not a show. You know what I mean? And we're just having combos.
Yeah, and you kind of want to focus on having the conversation rather than being like talking to the camera. Like you can talk to the camera, have a little message and stuff, but it's really about what are we talking about?
Yeah. So have you found it hard to get artists in here to do an interview?
Yeah, and I
I
think
know
it's,
they're a lot shy. Like we just asked someone, they're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Rock Roll G was walking around trying to ask people questions for a video.
Yeah.
And he said like 50% of them were like, nah, I'm not trying to be on camera.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's expected. A lot of artists are very like introvert.
Yeah.
Some of them are outgoing, but we have a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also there's an event going on, so it's kind of hard to pull them away. Like they're on a client.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A few homies that are like, yeah, I'll do it on my break, And then I come back and they're finishing their break. They're getting back on. I'm like, what the fuck?
We kept our word, bro.
Yeah.
We said 1:30, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know that responsibility. We know it, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what is expected of a podcast and
Yeah.
a commitment. So we don't want to just be like, yeah, bro, whatever. I mean, we take it serious. We love what we do.
Yeah,
we do it on our own time on a Monday. We close our shop and we just invite people in here.
I like that, man. That you guys.
And then we got a fellow interviewer over there, my dog, Steve. What's up, my boy?
That's right.
So, man, that was an awesome interview with this guy too, bro.
So you guys know the value and the time and the commitment it takes to put something like this together, and you kind of you're respecting the artist's time or the interviewer's time, the interviewee's time, and you want to expect that in return.
Exactly.
So how long have you guys been doing it, and what are some of the things you've experienced that you've really learned? Like I've had a few artists reach out about me helping them start a podcast. What are a few things that you would say focus on to help you have a successful podcast?
Well, I mean, to first answer your question, the first one is like we've been doing it for 3 years on and off, and I think we started staying consistent 2 years now, right?
Probably in the last 2 years, first it was like dabbling into it, just kind of. You have to start.
Dip your toes in the
and
water.
That's the thing. People think you have to have this amazing setup to start a podcast. That's not how it works.
We started with our phones and our iPad.
Yeah, and then we sync the audios, and then
right there, bro.
and then we got a nice camera, Sony, and then we're like, man, this is too much. We gotta hire somebody, and then when you hire somebody, so it's an ongoing process of building, just like in tattooing. Nobody starts with a big tattoo studio.
Exactly.
Everybody starts out of their house. But the podcast thing, they disrespect the process of that. Not disrespect it. They don't give it the value it really has. Like, you have to start somewhere, get to know and start interviewing people. At first we were just like deer eyes on the camera.
I think that's a common misconception because you think it's so easy, just record and that's it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of prep that goes into it that a lot of people don't see behind the camera.
Yeah, the pre setup and then the breakdown after.
Yeah.
The editing, like we have our friend Angel here, Angel de Leon Photography, helping us out with all this setup.
Yeah,
man.
with the switchboard and everything.
He's taking a huge load off of my workload because
normally
of
do
doing
it
that.
yourself, right?
Normally the one we do at the shop, bro.
Don't you got the itch right now to switch, right?
Camera switch. But yeah, no, I'll get there like an hour and a half, 2 hours early to start setting up the camera angles and stuff and the lighting. And even when the guests get there, I'm doing mic checks and doing all that. And man, it's kudos to Angel over here.
For sure. He comes in clutch. Look at he switches on perfectly, right on time, right on cue.
Yeah, too bad we don't have a camera to switch angles to Angel.
I know, huh? He's like, I don't need the attention right now.
That's what I was telling Carlos too. I was like,
Carlos from Anchored Minds. That's our media guy.
Media
Shout out to
guy,
Anchored Minds, bro.
Shout out to him. I was telling him, bro, you do so much work in the back. We got to put a GoPro in the front. We can switch back and forth to you.
Yeah. And you know what? I've actually seen podcasts where the person that's doing the production, the mic switch, he has his own station and his own camera, and he actually puts his 2 cents into the podcast.
He's part of the whole
entertainment. And I actually like that.
I like that.
That's cool.
You got to consume the whole part. Like he's part of the team as well. He knows us. He knows when I'm having a bad day. He knows when he's having a good day.
Yeah.
He just can tell us like he's been our only one, right? And so he can tell us like, hey guys, like to be honest, sometimes we're not always on point to be ready for an interview. Yeah. And he tells us, bro, I feel like the vibe is going down on you guys. Let's change it up. Let's do this,
Yeah,
so he's part of the team, bro. He's just not a paid, media guy. He's like part of the team.
Yeah, going above and beyond, like because not anybody, but I've worked with videographers and content creators that they want you to direct them. Like, what exactly do you want? I'm gonna point, shoot, edit it, boom, done. And a lot of times it's like, no, I want you to use your creative perspective and what do you think would look best? Like
they're artists too. They gotta get
exactly. Like we've had conversations in the middle of right here where the snacks and the water is, and then Angel will be like, "Hey guys, sit down. This is the podcast right here." And I'm like, okay,
bro,
cool. There you go.
That's been one of our struggles, and we're learning, right? Like I said, we're going back at the starting basis. And when we even have our Anchored Minds, he does our vlogs on Thursdays.
Okay,
right?
solid.
And a lot of times he's doing other things, and I'm like, bro, go record that. That's valuable. You know what I mean? And so now he learned how to do that, and now he catches like our honest conversations of having the struggle of like getting a client or
Yeah.
or a stencil. You know, the real rawness of the tattoo
issues that you
life.
come across.
Bro,
the-
yeah.
I told him just come up with the camera next to you like you're not even recording.
Yeah. He comes in a fucking camouflage suit.
Yeah, because once they see that lens, everybody gets deer-eyed.
Well,
Yeah,
I know-
yeah.
Have you noticed on the podcast too? Like when we take a break, and we're just shooting the shit. That's when the most conversation is going. And
Yeah,
recording.
it's like
Yeah.
it extends. The
So-
conversation keeps going, and then you lose some of that juice a little bit.
You know what was happening in the beginning? I don't know if it's happened to you. Like you're excited to meet an artist, right? And it happened to with us as Steve, because he's here, you know. And I'm thinking about the situation when we interviewed him. We're getting to know each other because the first time we meet, and the podcast just started like an hour before we even turn on the lights.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to like learn how to just like, all right, let's keep some of that realness, you know, behind so we can catch it on camera because
and that's kind of hard because like your human nature is to be accommodating to someone. Like you don't want them to feel like you're ignoring them or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Like,
You don't want to be like, go sit in the corner. We'll talk right now.
yeah. Exactly.
in the cabina, in the back, like in the what do you call it, the studio, and just come in into the
Maybe
show
that's the way to do it. Set up a little green room. Like, oh, hey, bro.
because it's rawness when we
Yeah.
first, the first
Yeah,
combo.
I can't wait to meet you and talk to you, but I do want to save it all for the podcast.
I feel that way
Here's
because
a
I like the
lounge,
realness
here's
of it.
some fucking drinks,
So I think
chill
probably
out.
one way to fix that is just have everything start recording as soon as they get there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because we put.
But
bloopers
sometimes they
before.
show up early.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've tried different ways, bro. We try where we just turn on the cameras, we don't tell them, and then we start recording, and then we're just shooting the shit, and we catch some of that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
other times we turn on the cameras, then we do like a proper like, hey, welcome to the show. And there's many times where we just say we're just talking, and then by the way, we're doing the podcast. Kind of, we're switching up the introduction just to kind of feel, and because there's no real right or wrong way, really. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It
It's
goes
really
back to the
yours.
interviewer too, because if they come in all shy and timid, you kind of want to sneak it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Not just tell them, because then it goes again. Like they get all shy and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm on camera."
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed other podcasts doing is that they kind of start it without the introduction.
Without the intro.
They kind of just start talking, and then the guest is like, wait, is this the podcast?
Is this on? Yeah, we're on already.
And they're like, yeah, we're just fucking going in raw. And then they introduce you like a few minutes in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, we have fucking so-and-so here.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought that was a good icebreaker. Like, oh, you guys are just easing into it. Like, we're just keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trying different things, Recently, he was gone in Florida. He was tattooing in Florida. So
Oh, I saw
me
that,
and one of the other artists, Romeo Shades, were like, let's do something different. So we got some hot wings, try to do like the hot ones, and we interviewed each other, bro. And we asked deep questions, and I'm crying, bro.
No
But
way. You get them from Buffalo Wild Wings, the what's it called?
no,
really
we got
hot
them
one?
from
Wingstop.
wait, no, Buffalo. It's in Rancho, bro. Sorry, Wings and Things, I think, or Wings and Rings. Wings and Rings.
Wings
We
and
don't go to
Rings.
Buffalo because I don't know.
It's not the same.
Not the same, and
They used
these
to
are
be
bomb.
good.
Wings and Rings
Yeah.
came through, and we had like 4 different flavors, and then we were asking like real questions. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, I'm like this, and I'm like, what's your biggest fear, dog?
Are you crying because of the
You have to try it, bro.
Yeah,
You have
I
to
like
try
that,
it.
bro.
It changes
Hey.
up the whole thing,
Hey,
bro.
hey, if you guys run that, I'm down to jump.
You want
on
to do that?
bro.
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
think, the hot ones kind of inspired us. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I've watched the hot ones. I love that whole concept, bro. Because the spicier it gets, the harder it is to answer
It's
the
harder.
deeper questions.
And then you have to answer it right away.
Yeah, and that's entertaining as hell. And I actually had a concept for that with tattooing, and it was going to be called Onset to Ink, and it was going to be basically tattooing a client, preferably in a tough area, like inner arm or
Okay.
whatever, and then asking them questions that get more difficult as it goes. And I've tried that, but it's hard to focus on the production while you're tattooing,
Yeah.
So I might approach it again, but that was inspired by the hot ones.
Okay.
Putting somebody in a tough situation and asking
Because
them
what
questions.
happens is like it's hard to. What I realized doing it's hard to focus and you put your thoughts clearly because you're like, God damn, this is hot,
spicy,
you know.
it's fucking
And so we were
burning.
asking deep questions. And you're like, yeah, and I went deep, talking about my relationship and just what my purpose is, and
With
it
your
was dope.
babas and your mocos on your
Yeah, and then drinking, we got to wash it down with some beer, but
Yeah,
it was
there
awesome.
you go.
You got to try it, bro.
That's
We got to
awesome.
try it.
I'm
We're gonna
down,
do
I'm
one.
down.
You
That'd be
down?
fun. That would be fun.
All right,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
kind of sad I missed that one.
Yeah, you're grinding. You were getting it
Yeah,
down
you're
over
doing
there.
your thing, but yeah, we can definitely do some more, man. But
That'd be tight.
it'd
So
be
when you were in
awesome.
Florida, did you get a chance to like explore and hang out? What part of Florida were you in?
I was in West Palm Beach.
Oh, nice.
I took off. I landed Monday. Started tattooing Monday. I took off Wednesday, and then I started tattooing all the way till Sunday.
Damn.
So I only had like one day really off, so
Yeah.
I didn't really get to do much exploring. I've been there before, so I did before, but this time it was just mostly working.
So how did you have clients out there? They just people you've tattooed when the last time you were there? Or?
So I have my family out there actually, and
Oh,
I've been
okay.
tattooing my cousins for the past 2 years, and just people see his work, and then
word of
just-
mouth, it
yeah,
spreads.
word of mouth, basically. They hit me up, and I had enough people who were like, okay, I got to go out there for at least a week.
Yeah,
to try to get
yeah.
it done.
There you go.
So
That's pretty
it
much
worked
how I
out.
have it running in North Carolina. I go to Charlotte
Mhm.
like every 3 to 4 months, and then it started off with just like a few friends that I was tattooing, and then it spread word of
Spreads
mouth, word
out.
of mouth. So now I go
Yeah.
like 2 weeks at a time to try to
Yeah.
take care of everybody, and I get new people coming in, and I'm like, sorry, bro, I can't take you this time. Maybe next time, you know.
It's word
That's
of
dope,
mouth,
bro.
man. It's word of mouth is powerful. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
see it. Like they think social media is all you need, but you still need word of mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, and it definitely helps that you guys are dope artists,
Yeah,
and you're
appreciate it.
you're tattooing in an area where it's not as saturated, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've traveled and you notice like usually when someone from the West Coast goes to the East Coast,
Yeah.
people love that.
Yep.
Especially
Yep.
like you're in
100%.
the LA area
Yeah.
around, located around here.
Yeah.
basically. They love that West Coast work.
Yeah, and then vice versa. Like a lot of the East Coast talents are neo-traditional, new school. There's a lot of neo-traditionals in California that are booked because there's not a lot of guys doing that.
That's
here.
true.
Yeah.
And not doing. There's some doing it, but not doing it
Not-
like well.
Right.
You know. So it's definitely it's like
Yeah, that culture's growing over here, especially with anime and mixing all that
Yeah.
stuff, bro.
Yeah,
Like we interviewed Mr. Pinks and
Is that the
his
guy
shop.
that has the anime shop?
That's all anime,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, that's how
That's
they
a
do.
trip.
Dope.
That's a trip, right?
Yeah.
How niche you can be and just focus on that.
Yeah.
He has like 8 artists, he said?
Yeah.
8 or 10 artists.
And that's
They're
all they
booked
do.
for,
His
like,
wife
months,
also
for
does
months.
that. We're
Yeah.
impressed, bro. We're blown away how
That's
he could just
awesome.
make that. And he says, I'm gonna search out for the best, and I'm bringing him into my shop. And now he has a specifically anime, so it's pretty dope.
That's
And
dope,
they don't
man.
even take walk-ins or nothing. It's just by appointments.
Fuck yeah, especially right now that it's just like a huge trend.
Yeah.
I mean, anime has always been a thing, but now it's like it's okay to like anime.
Yeah.
I think
You
that's
know?
what happened.
Do you
Like,
think
like
is it
15
because-
years ago, it was like you like anime, you must be a weird guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think it's because now, like, you see it in the malls, you see it in
It's
stores
definitely
and
gone.
everything?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's just over time the people that liked it grew up and now they're
That has to be
That's-
part of what it is, but I really couldn't answer that question because I started getting into anime in the last maybe like 4 years because of one of my cousins that he's older than me, but he was always been into anime, and then I ran into him at his job, and he's like, "Hey man, I know your kids are getting to the age where they're watching cartoons and stuff. You got to get them into anime, man, because anime has positive messages in there about like staying strong or believing in yourself and stuff like that." So that inspired me to start watching some anime, and I'm like, fuck, some of these the storylines alone are like pretty interesting. So I think because the older crowd is showing the younger crowd, it is making it seem more accepted, or it's just spreading its grasp on culture.
Yeah, I've asked people like, what is the whole thing about anime? I don't know anything. I mean, the last thing I know about anime, I don't even want to say because I would disrespect all the anime followers. But I asked them, what is it? What is it intriguing? Is it the art? Is it's the storyline? It's the plot.
Yeah.
They relate a lot, and then
Yeah.
they relate to the characters, how they transform this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a trip, you know?
Have you
Yeah.
given it a chance?
Not really. So maybe I should.
I tried to, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like one of those things that it took me a minute, a few tries, but you have to really be invested in following the storyline.
Gotcha.
Because if you don't follow the storyline, it's just a bunch of action shots, fighting, you see the stuff going on. But when you kind of start to get to know a character, and when they're like this big, and you see them starting to find themselves and understanding, you kind of find a piece of yourself in like, man,
Interesting.
I was a kid feeling like that,
Yeah.
and now I'm finding my way, But,
That's dope, bro. Yeah.
some people
crazy.
don't like it.
It's
Some
here to
people,
stay. It's here
Yeah.
to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
definitely good storylines. I think they're inspirational. They're definitely better than some of the cartoons that you see out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my kids watch, man. Like, for example, like I don't know if you guys watch a lot of cartoons like from Cartoon Network. like South Park.
Yeah.
Like they're funny, but I would not. Let
Yeah,
my
they're a
kids
little
watch
brutal.
That, you know?
They're a little brutal. Yeah, I don't let my daughter that she's watching us let her watch that stuff right now. But
Yeah, no,
eventually they're gonna watch it. You know,
that's definitely adult cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, like because there's stuff in there they don't even understand anyways. You know,
exactly.
So adult humor.
Yeah, the adult humor. Yeah, stuff like that. I was gonna ask you something. Fucking slipped my mind. So I had to pull you away from a tattoo session.
Yeah,
my bad. I appreciate
no, that's
you
all
coming.
good, bro.
I saw that you were working on like a rose window, like the cathedral window, and then you're gonna do a sculpture head above that.
Yeah, angel sculpture.
You started that piece yesterday.
I did.
Right.
I did. Yeah.
How is your client handling that?
Super great, bro. He's one of my best clients as far as like not moving. Very enthusiastic. Believes in anything I do.
Has the faith in you.
Faith. He's like, we call him unicorns at our shop.
Yeah.
The kind that just say whatever you want, bro. And if I tell him come back, 3 times more to get those layers in, he'll come back.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So we treat those collectors like amazingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean everybody, but just those in particular, they're investing more in us.
Yeah.
So we invest as well.
Exactly.
You know and so I learned something new today because this is my second convention I've ever done. Josh has done more conventions than me, but I learned to respect the convention setup system. I thought I was just gonna stencil it on and go and then just do this amazing big piece, but problems came across. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have that list. It shocked me, and I'm like, yo, you need to invest more time in this. This is serious stuff, especially because you want to create something dope, and then people come and meet you. It's hard. So that's what I learned. But yeah, we're doing that piece, and we're just doing it. Whatever we get done, it's his first convention as well. Okay. So he wanted to walk around, do the experience.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to take that away from him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I
you
just
want him to experience it and feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because then it's kind of like when you bring a kid to something new and they just want to like touch all the buttons. Like I just want to, you got to let them get it out of their system, go check it out. And then you can be like, okay, this is what we're doing now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And he knows a lot of artists. Well, he follows a lot of them. So we wanted to meet them like Rebel Colors. He, we went to meet him where we were on the awards, and that was cool. So,
nice.
I just figured like, screw the whole thing about like try to be into the contest and whatever. I'm going to focus on him and his experience, So that's what we're about. So whatever I get done, I'm just going to focus on the, on that, I forgot the name of it. You said
Rose Window.
Rose Window.
Yeah.
And just focus on that today, and then we'll stencil the statue another day.
Nice. Yeah, the rose windows are looking dope, man.
Yeah.
It's looking good. I like the layout of them because they're almost like geometric designs.
It's really like that.
You can kind of fit them in
with the 3D aspect of it. It took me.
He warped it too.
I warped. It took me 2 hours to figure out that warp because I didn't just
So you didn't find it like that?
No, I had to warp it. I had to I got to find a window and then duplicate it on Procreate. Use the warping and then right where those those bars go.
Are you guys taking notes?
I had to like blend them in, So because I wanted something different on the leg, if you would just put a round thing, it just caps it. So I had to give it a flow.
Damn,
and so,
bro, I could have. I learned 2 things from this guy this weekend, bro. See, this is why you got to come to these conventions, man, because you're gonna learn things that will take you a long time to understand or learn when you could streamline it and get it from an artist that could inspire
appreciate it,
you.
Man.
Most artists will answer you. Like if you ask them questions, most of them will, unless they have their headphones on because they're really trying to finish for a competition.
Yeah, or they're just focused on their work. And some artists, like we talked, they're introvert. They don't really like talking to people, which is okay. You can come on in. Yeah,
come in. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but man, that piece coming out dope. But I like that warping the rose window. I don't know why I've never thought of that, because I actually had a client a couple weeks ago that I did a rose window, and I was trying to figure out where to fit it. I'm like, dude, we can only get half of it, dude. Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, that would have came in clutch, man.
I had the same thing. I was like, he wanted more of that design on there, and I'm like, this just doesn't flow. And then in the middle of the knee area, what can you really do there?
Yeah, that
can't really do much.
I had the same spot that I was doing too.
And then
you landed it good with the muscle structure too.
Yeah. It took me a while, bro. And that's why I'm giving it the respect of that area, and I'm not gonna rush it, because you could easily rush that, and then the lines don't meet. You can't see the depth, and that it's already standing out.
And that's what separates a good tattoo from a better tattoo. Taking the time beforehand to prepare, positioning. If you're not feeling it, don't do it. Readjust. You know. And I got tattooed by Vito like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
I went to a session with him a month ago. He had a design ready, put the stencil on ready, shaved me up, had the whole setup. He's like, I don't like it, bro. and then we were there trying to redesign it, and he just was not feeling it. So we didn't do anything. So we did wait until the next month.
That's a sign of
this came out a lot better than the original design. So I'm stoked.
That's cool. Can we check it out? Because I saw the smoke. Yeah. Bro, he's amazing, bro. Tony from our shop got a tattoo from him, man.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
Amazing guy, dude.
Yeah. Healing a little rough in the ditch, but that's how it is.
That's how it happens.
You don't
bro.
need antibiotics all the time, guys. You can relax. You know,
Spit on it a little bit.
Yeah,
it happens. I mean, that's the thing. It's skin, and that's another thing I want to talk about in the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes what goes wrong. Like we always talk about the perfect stuff, but we want to be real. You know what I mean? And sometimes skin is skin, and it doesn't feel perfect.
Exactly, especially like in those areas where you have a lot of movement. You know,
yeah,
that's where the damage is on here is the crease area. You know,
yeah, dude.
You gotta text your artist every single hour, like, hey man, it's not moving right. It's good and crusty. You know.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Messages
That's normal.
like on save, like, oh, this is because of this. Oh, this is because of that.
Oh, just like an auto reply. Yeah. Like go to my effect page.
There you go.
I think right now, like,
Hey, what's up, guys? Come on in.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up?
But yeah. So you know, he took the time, wasn't feeling it, so he decided, you know what, let me.
And so he's rescheduled for another day.
Yeah.
you as an artist, well, I mean, you as an artist, you understand it and appreciate that he did that. But do you feel like other clients that don't understand that, you think they would have got mad?
Yeah, of course. Well, like, because for example, I booked 3 sessions with him, December of 2021.
Yeah.
So I waited a year.
You waited a long time.
I waited a long time for these appointments.
Yeah.
So for him to not be happy with what he originally designed, and you know, I definitely felt a little bit of frustration, but I definitely appreciated it more that he was like man enough to be, hey, I'm not feeling it, bro. I don't want to give you something that I'm not gonna be happy with, because you know,
I mean, that says a lot about his brand.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
He really loves that, what he does and what he's gonna put on people, because it's walking around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And sometimes he's gonna take that from a client that's frustrated, but he doesn't care because that's what he has his brand, and he has a following. You know what I mean? So he's earned that, and I think communication is a big part. You know?
I think a lot of artists need to practice that, because I feel we get that pressure from clients, because a lot of artists have like a month, 2-month waiting list.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to do is just cancel on that person on his last day, like he took his day off and everything. But sometimes if you're not feeling, like you said, you have to.
Yeah, and it is like a very uncomfortable situation, an uncomfortable conversation to have. But hopefully clients see this, or tattoo collectors see this, and they understand, like, we're human, you know.
Yeah.
If we're not feeling something, let us express that to you.
Yeah.
So that way, when you don't see us not posting your picture on Instagram, it's not because, you know.
Right. I know what you're saying.
Let me get it right. Let me
Yeah.
You know? I'm sorry that you took your day off work. I appreciate, your time, but, this is forever. This is for the rest of your life. So
And they'll come out a lot better as well.
Exactly.
And that's part of our podcast too, is that we express a lot about communication. Just communicate more. And I think lack of communication is what causes a lot of like misunderstandings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's simply we just relate to them and be as genuine as possible. And shit's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah.
Stuff that's not planned is gonna happen in the process, in the booking, in the experience. But communication, that's why we have a 5-star shop, to be honest, because we over communicate. And I tell all our artists, over communicate. Tell them everything. You know what I mean? Like, express yourselves.
That's super important.
So.
Especially to new clients. Like, I mean, prime example with my brother. I tattooed him yesterday. He got his first tattoo with me a month ago. And he thought he was going to get a whole sleeve in a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I need it done by Saturday. I was like,
You're like, okay, bro, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, I got you.
No, I told him, like, look, it's going to take about 6-7 sessions.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the communication part. When you meet a new client, you have to be upfront and tell them, this is why it's going to take me this long.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I layer my work. I'm going to show you pictures how it looks after 1 session. I'm going to show you a picture how it looks after 2 sessions.
Okay.
And that me explaining that to them and showing them visually, they start understanding it more and more.
Yeah.
It's new to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you can always tell. You can always tell when you have the new client, because it's like question after question after question. But then you have to understand, like, okay, they're scared coming into this, so you have to give them that communication. You
have to make that time for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, because that goes into, even if it's a small tattoo. I've had clients even at conventions where somebody comes up and they want a yin yang or a cross or whatever, and it's like this big, and they're having a hard time like committing to it. You have to kind of just really make them feel confident, and that you're confident, and that make them believe that, hey, I'm gonna take care of you. If you want this, I can do it for you, you know?
Yeah.
And then that one person for that little tattoo may bring you 5 clients, 10 clients.
Yeah.
They may bring you the next back piece, you know? Or they may come back and get a back piece themselves. You never know.
Exactly. You never know.
It's I seen that more on Friday 13.
Yeah.
Remember, like, she got her first tattoo. She was really nervous because her friend pushed her and made her comfortable. After, she was my last client, too, after that long-ass night, right? And like you said, because of her, I was able to get a back piece. She told her boyfriend to go to me because I made her so comfortable through her process. You know?
So he was like, all right, babe, yeah.
Let's go.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Talking about communication and communicating with clients, have you guys seen the Tattoo Gate trend or hashtag going on?
I'm glad you brought it up.
Are you guys familiar with the details of that?
Not all the way through, but apparently there's an artist that overcharged in each stage, right?
So basically what it was is that she was offering consultation packages. So the consultation itself, she charged for.
Yeah.
So just to talk to her, she charged
180 or something.
180, something like that. And then just to get an image drawn up was like $1,600, $2,000 just for the drawing. That doesn't go towards the tattoo.
Right.
So this lady reached out to an artist and she sent her 2 images, one fox, or both the images were foxes on a half sleeve, and both of them were going down full body. So she felt confident that she understood. She loved the artist's work and she had faith in her. The following, like 2 weeks later, on Monday, she got the images, or the image. It was half of the body facing forward with some flowers. It looked like the fox was peeking out of some flowers.
Yeah.
And she said she quickly emailed her and told her, like, you know, this isn't anything like what I told you or sent you references of, you know. And then the artist was making the client feel like it was her fault for not communicating that.
Right.
And she said, if you want me to redraw you one, you got to pay for the second package, which was like another $2,000 or something like that. And yes, well, of course she didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because she was already discouraged because of that. That drawing was nothing like worth, not even worth like a couple $100. Yeah. It was literally just scribbles.
It was on an iPad or whatever, or maybe a sketch. Yeah. We seen some memes of it. We seen a video. I seen actually a video of another podcaster, actually a tattooer, who made a meme out of it, and I thought it was just so funny.
I went deep into it. I got stuck on it on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, you know how they say watch part 2.
Part 3.
I was like, fuck. I got to part 5. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you start seeing other people like talking about it and reviewing it, their perspectives. And like the person who had that concept, this artist named Russ Abbott, he was teaching artists how to like get more revenue, create more income. You know, so he kind of encouraged or had that concept that he got all the
backlash, right?
But yeah, he got backlash for it. But he can't control what the artist is going to do for their pricing system, you know. Like, he's expecting the artist to draw out an elaborate drawing with detail, shading, color, like a complete piece at the very least, you know?
Well,
but
she wasn't even at that level where she was able to charge up to that point. Apparently, you know, I couldn't see her work. Apparently, she was already
I haven't seen her work, so I'm not sure.
It was a female artist?
It was a female artist, yeah.
But what everybody was saying, like, her work was not up to par to
be charging that for just the drawing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here. I want to say, you know, you're focusing, a lot of people are focusing on the artist. How can you do that? But come on, even new clients and experienced clients, do your due diligence, man. You know, like do research. You're getting a tattoo for forever. You know, get some references and talk to people. Is this how you do it? I mean, if she just blatantly, I don't know her or anything like that, right? I'm just thinking of, you know, in the situational. If she just blatantly just paid for those stages without even knowing, is this how it's done? You know, even if it's for her first time, she needs to do more work as far as like how the process is. You know what I'm saying? And whether that artist was irresponsible or not, I mean, there was definitely, you know, something going on there. You know, that's I don't know.
Well, she already knew of the artist.
She really loved her work.
Okay. So during the first initial contact, she said she felt confident that she understood what she wanted.
I see.
You know,
but she didn't know that
She didn't know about the.
the deposit didn't go towards the.
Yeah, she didn't know that price of 1,600 didn't go towards.
That was just the okay.
On top
So
of
there's
that,
some like
Or lack of communication,
yeah,
right
there's
there.
some verbiage
You
there
know?
that got misconstrued or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about that concept of charging for artwork separate from the tattoo?
I mean, that's just this compartmentalizing the whole process. Why don't you just have a set fee and include that in there? And if you have to add 1,600 to your full day, add it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you divide it like that, it just kind of makes it more complex, and clients just want an easy experience. And then when you just separate it into divisions, here's the consultation fee, here's the drawing fee. You know, it becomes like a structure that just a lot of friction. You know.
I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's like when you start putting things together on the shopping list. I want this, I want that.
To make checklists, right? And just if he wants to make more money, charge more and just offer that. I mean, we do free consultations, but we have our set rates for the day. And if they're willing to leave a deposit, then we'll start doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I don't know, I believe make the process super simple for a client.
Yeah.
Super simple. You don't want to make it complex.
Yeah, exactly.
After that, I actually started looking into the whole stages thing. I was like, okay, I kind of like the idea of the stages. Like, what can we create for the industry or as an artist, to make it more simpler for people to choose for their budgets.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe you won't have to do the whole, like, pay for the drawing, pay for this, pay for that, right? You can make it, okay, my full day is this much, but I could give you a half day for this much, or I could give you 2 back-to-back days for this much.
Mm-hmm.
So I have those stages in case.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Yeah, and that's basically how I do it. Like when somebody sends me a tattoo request on my form, I go over it. I send them like a script, right, where I talk about, okay, so this is normally my double day rate is this, and usually if you book multiple days, I give you a discount, and then this is my single day rate, and this is a half day rate. Your tattoo concept, I would recommend doing a full day. Yeah, that should be enough time to get it done. In some cases, I just try to communicate it. You know? But I let them know up front, like, this is what I offer. If you want something that can be done within an hour, my minimum is this.
So how do you go back to, like, I know we're just having conversations with artists that came in to talk to us at the booth, and are like, how do you convince a client to add another session to the work? Because it's going to make it a lot better. Yeah. But they don't want to pay more. I told the person, I was like, you got to be upfront with them. Yeah. Like, and I tell the first session, you're going to get about 80% done. Yeah. Let's be honest. Especially because after the tattoo heals, we don't know exactly how your body's going to react to it. It's going to change a little bit. It won't be as bright or vibrant. So let's go back over it. Do another second pass on it, and bam, it's going to look even better. Yeah. Yeah, so like sometimes, like going back to like your brother, you said he was trying to do a full sleeve in a week. Yeah. And like some people come in with that expectation, like, oh, I want to get all this done for your day rate. Like, I want you for a day, and I want all this. And you gotta let them know, like, hey, I can't give you a flat rate on the sleeve. Yeah. I can do this for the day, but we're probably not gonna get through fucking like 70% of a sleeve. Yeah. I can probably do a half sleeve, but even that half sleeve is gonna need to go back in and refine and rework a little bit. It's a running joke for artists that when people come in, like, I want a sleeve for a week, right? Yeah. But when actually, how much for a sleeve? $100. Yeah. I actually made a video meme of somebody coming in, hey, how much for a sleeve? And so let me backtrack a little bit. So a few months before, somebody threw a rock through our front door, and it's all glass. Yeah. So the old piercer was like, let me run through the door. I'm like, oh, let's take a video of you doing it, because it was still in place. It just had a hole in it. And he does a front flip through the door, and we got it on video. So after that, we're like, hey, let's make a video of you coming in asking for a sleeve. And then we pretend like we throw him out through the fucking window. Yeah. But it's always like a joke. Like, actually, I think I did see it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. But people come in like, hey, how much for like a side piece? Yeah. How much for a leg sleeve? Like, it's all situational, We don't know exactly what you want. If you give us an idea of what you want, we can give you an estimate on how many sessions it might take or whatever. But that goes with the client also communicating. It's not a car. It goes back to how Ricky was saying. It's like the client has to be responsible for doing the research. Yeah.
You have to do your research. Every artist charges different. Every artist has their own process and how they work.
Yeah.
If you go to one artist, don't expect to be the same at the other one.
Exactly. Exactly. So
I'm back. I'm back.
What do you mean? You've been there this whole time?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I had to take my daughter to a
Movie
restroom.
magic.
Being a dad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, you know, and having family here, you know,
Yeah.
being able to see your
future artists.
have your future artists see
Yeah.
the environment, experience some of it, you know.
Yeah, for sure,
It's awesome. It gets them out of their comfort zone a little bit, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's something that I think is important, especially in a age where we're constantly on our phones. Our kids are constantly on their phones or watching movies. That social interaction starts to get missed.
I like how you guys did that, though. That you guys allowed kids under 12 in for free.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
because they're not gonna get tattooed.
Yeah.
Just
They
hanging
probably
out.
don't even want to be here. Yeah.
No, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Only future artists, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've actually had a couple people run up to me that were like fans of mine. You know, people saying, "Oh, I've been following you for years. I really love what you're doing. I love your videos, love your work and stuff." And this guy that has been showing me love on TikTok. Every time I go live, he's in there talking to me, and his Insta or TikTok is Grumpy Bobby. And I was walking, and I saw this guy like walking behind me, and I looked around. I was like, "What's up, bro?" And then I finally stopped to talk to somebody, and I finished and turned around. He's like, "Hey, it's me, Grumpy Bobby." I was like, "Oh shit, what's up, dog?" You know, I gave him a hug and everything. But I had to go meet with Freddie.
Okay.
So I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go handle
Yeah,
Freddie."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so I was like, "Hey, bro, I gotta go talk to him real quick. Let me handle him, and then we'll chop it up." But I ended up not seeing him. He brought his son, and I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, bro, you still here?" Because I wanted to talk to him. You know,
Of course, he follows you.
showing me love. And he's like, "Nah, I had to dip out. My son was getting bored." You know,
Oh.
and I was like, "It makes sense." You know, but it's have you guys ever gotten that? Maybe hear somebody seen your videos or something like, "Hey, are you guys?"
We got a couple of them actually go to the booth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
Talk to
nice.
us right there. Yeah.
That's right.
So it was pretty
That's
dope
cool.
to see them. And then someone just walked around and came back to talk to us even more.
That's dope.
So it's a dope feeling.
Yeah, it's humbling. It's like, you know, like I shook the other guy's hand that said he's been following me for a long time. I shook his hand. I was like, "Bro, I fucking appreciate you." I gave him. I was like, "What's
We
your
should,
name?"
man. We should. I mean,
Yeah.
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 It's dope. It's dope to come and say, "Oh, we watch your podcast." Oh, thank you, man. And I always ask them, like, you know, I'm trying to get feedback as much as possible. You know, it's loud here, but you know, which did you like? Which one? Or what do we talk about? You know, and just it reaffirms our project. You know what I mean? That we want to reach people.
And we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Like
Many times. Huh?
like you're doing something without a noticeable return.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's
delayed.
reaching people,
It's delayed.
but you get that one person that's like, "Hey, I saw your fucking podcast," and then you're like, "Oh shit."
I got a
Okay.
message yesterday.
Let me keep
You know,
going. Let me keep going.
man, I love your podcast. It motivates me. Keep doing them. You know.
Yeah.
And the guy's just starting out, and that's dope, you know.
Yeah.
But when we're doing it for, you know, time month after month, and you know you don't get that, you're like, is it reaching people? It's reaching,
Yeah.
you know. So we gotta
Yeah.
keep
Little
going.
by little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
You just stay focused on the numbers. Or like that number's not going up.
Yeah. You can't focus on that, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then you reach a certain point of success, and they say, now you see the numbers, but now you shouldn't focus on the interactions because some of the comments they get toxic or whatever.
we haven't
But that's a
gotten
whole
comments,
different-
man. I
that's a whole
want comments.
different
Comment. Give us some
Yeah,
comments right here. How do you
guys
guys think?
go check out
We get 'em
the.
on on the YouTube Reels.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, some of them were like, you know, how you say kind of negative. I was like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
should respond to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
no,
I haven't
it's-
seen them if I jump in, but I
No,
like. I
yeah.
want to. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's what you think. All right, cool. Tell me why. Like, I want some interaction. You know what I mean? But
I've seen you gotta hold off. Man.
Okay.
You take the higher road.
Okay.
Man, 'cause you know
Yeah.
I've had people like my wife's had people go on there and like say something about like something on her look because she has like moles right here.
Okay.
And I love that about her. I think she wants to get them removed, and I'm like, no.
Right.
I love that, but that's how I know you, you know.
Yeah.
And somebody said something about it, and I was like, looking at his Instagram, I was like, memorizing it. Like, I'm gonna fucking get you, motherfucker. You know. But then
You
I'm
gotta
like,
take the high road on
but
those.
then I
stuff.
calmed down. And I was like, fuck that guy. I was
You
like,
don't know
"Babe,"
what
I
they're
was like,
going- you don't know what
"Babe,
they're going
don't
through.
worry
I
about
was-
this fucking guy. He's
That's-
probably fucking.
Yeah.
Probably is homeless or something.
Yeah.
Probably, bro.
Those troll people like they have so much time to where like they'll go through like you and then they'll find your friends and then they'll find your family and then they'll go through like everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
Some
that's why you
people are
said like it's
just-
best not to really talk to them.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because some people are just miserable and they want to bring you down. They want to find. I mean, my wife looks beautiful, and they pointed out the one thing that she's self-conscious about.
Yeah, I didn't even notice
Like-
that. I met
like-
her the other day. I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about? You
like,
know,
dude,
this.
what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. It's just you got to scratch those people off.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't even count them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, we've been here an hour.
Holy shit.
So,
See, that's when we know we have time. Yeah, I got to get back.
So thank you guys.
No, bro.
one second.
Pleasure,
I know
bro.
your client's going to hurt when you go back in there.
Nah, he's enjoying. He's probably drunk already.
He's talking to
And
someone
my boy, shout out
else.
to Jerry, bro.
Yeah.
Jerry, when you watch this, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
love.
being patient, bro.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Go ahead, plug in your socials again.
You can follow me on Instagram at JoshA12.
And you can follow me at Ricky Tat. And then,
You can check out the Instagram for the podcast at the IQ Project.
Yep.
yeah.
And check out their podcast, guys. They got already a bunch of guests and artists, and they've interviewed. It's awesome. The IQ Project. Check them out. YouTube.
Thank
on
you,
all
bro.
platforms. And thank you guys.
Sure.
Get back to work. Get back to
All
work.
right, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Man.
All right, bro.